Getting this pre-Friday started with something nice and heavy from Invent Animate. Silent Planet teaming up with Return to One. They'll be doing some sort of 3-song EP together that's coming out in late March. Yeah, that's the March 28th. I'm trying to think of the date. How do you say that band's name? Invent Animate? Invent Animate? I don't know. I do know it's Peach's Pit Party here, kicking off on this fine pre-Friday, a.k.a. Thursday. If you want to get a hold of me, you can over at 208-535-1015. Jade freaked me out a couple days ago. Now, I'm sure if you heard the show last Friday, I got into a little bit of an accident. I was at a stoplight. I got rear-ended real hard by another driver that failed to brake at the intersection, which is why you should allow extra space in between you and the car in front of you. Not only that, but also you should be driving extra slow in conditions like, well, even worse than it is outside right now. It's not too bad today. It's been nice and sunny, but it's extra, extra cold. The day that it happened last Friday, there was tons of slush and ice, and it was gross outside. So, yeah, if you're not from around here, be extra careful. And if you are from around here, be extra, extra careful outside. You know what to do. You know what to do. You're letting a Californian tell you what to do. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just saying, you know what? Please be extra careful. Thank you. Thank you. That's it. But, yeah, Jade freaked me out. He goes, by the way, did you lose a tire when you went through the accident? I'm like, no. I remember 4 tires. It wouldn't have been drivable if there was only 3 snow tires on the car. He's like, well, your spare might be on the side of the road still where you had the accident, because apparently there's one just sitting there, and it's been there for a few days now. And I went, that's strange. And he had me freaking out thinking I lost my spare tire. All 4 of my snow tires, after calling the body shop, are still on the car. So, and I don't know about you, and I'm hoping you've never been in an accident, but if you have, you kind of want to avoid the location where you had the accident, right? Or that might just be me. But I haven't gone to that intersection or that side of town since then, just because I don't want to, repeat what happened. It's just something in my head. I'm like, no, thank you. No, thank you. And I'm now extra cautious. I'm looking in the rearview mirror, like, do not get too close to this rental car. Please stay away. But yeah, I haven't checked that street over there. And I don't think it is my spare. I even called my mom and asked her, I'm like, would you think that would be my spare? Like, if for some reason the spare tire was below my car and it just somehow fell off? I don't know. I truly don't know. My car is in the shop. I'm driving this tiny little rental. I've talked about that previously on the show. If you haven't heard about that, well, you can listen to it on the Peach's Pit Party, the podcast version of this show, which you can find anywhere on demand, wherever you get podcasts. And by the way, we are currently giving away those Disturbed tickets. Today is pretty much the last day to sign up before tomorrow when we draw our winners. So if you want to sign up, do so in the K-Bear app, the Alt app, and the Cannonball app for the max 3 entries in this drawing. I'll be back with some Falling in Reverse, 5-Finger Death Punch, and more here on K-Bear 101. This could definitely make for a great to Peach their own question. What's the grossest habit your coworker has? Have you confronted them about it? I've talked about this specific individual's habit for quite a long time now. We've even hung up signs in the bathroom to say, hey, don't turn the lights off at all during business hours, because that shuts off the fan in the men's restroom. And if someone were to, use the restroom before that person, and then that person walks in, uses the restroom, and then turns the lights off, the stink builds up, if you know what I'm talking about. So the next person that walks in there has to quickly turn the lights on and then just get punched by that stench that was unleashed thanks to the fan being off. We have to have multiple signs in the bathroom, like, hey, please flush. Please keep the lights on. Do they get followed? Of course not. So that might be happening during the 4 p.m. hour. I might be asking that question. What's the grossest habit your coworker has? Have you confronted them about it? If you want to answer that question now, you can also call me at 208-535-1015. As I predicted, those Progresso soup drops that I talked about? Was it last week or just even earlier this week? Well, they dropped today, or they might have dropped yesterday. Well, many people laughed last week overall when Progresso introduced the soup drops, the sort of cough drops that are not cough drops, they just taste like soup. But Progresso, their rollout was a huge success. The chicken noodle soup flavored hard candy, which is marketed as soup you can suck on, became available online last Thursday. So it was last week when I talked about it. As I predicted, it completely sold out in under an hour. The company announced on Instagram, well, this is super awkward, spelling it S-O-U-P-E-R. Our soup drops sold out before we had the chances to tell you, but there's great news. A fresh new batch of soup you can suck on is available today, Thursday, beginning at 9 a.m. Eastern time. Well, I'm reading this now, and it's way past that. Can I open up the website? Oh, let me see here. Nope, it's sold out again. Wait, no, check back Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern time. So aren't they supposed to be available now? I don't know. Their website seems off. I don't know. I feel like they sold out of the second batch, but we'll try our best to get our hands on at least a can of these soup drops just for on-air content. I think it was 2 or 3 summers ago when people kept complaining about the potholes after the wintertime came through, and it was spring finally, and there was tons of potholes everywhere. And then people complained about those potholes getting fixed because those roads were blocked, and just a never-ending cycle, especially of complaints on Facebook. But anyway, at least Idaho is not the state in the nation that has the worst roads. Turns out Rhode Island has the worst roads in the entire country. They're the smallest state in the nation. They have the fewest miles of roads, but according to data from the Bureau of Transportation Statistics, they are the worst roads in the country. They hold the distinction of having the highest percentage of roads deemed unacceptable. Number 2 on the list is New Jersey, followed by Hawaii at number 3, the state where you're most likely to avoid a blowout from an unrepaired pothole or crack is Idaho. Wow, we're on the opposite end, where more than 95% of roads are considered acceptable. Look at that. It must just be our roads. We're the 5%, I guess. And this right here is your Shot Clock Sports Update. An 11-year-old baseball card collector has a choice between $1 million or season tickets to see the Pittsburgh Pirates. The young collector found the Topps Paul Skeens? Is that how you say it? Paul Skeens, 1-of-1 rookie debut patch autograph card in a hobby box. It includes 24 packs with 4 cards in each. 4 cards in each pack. That's right. Because the card is so rare, most estimates suggest it's worth a cool $1 million on the open market. But the Pirates and Livy Dunn, who is Paul Skeens' girlfriend, are offering a package that includes 2 season tickets behind home plate at PNC Park for 30 years and a host of other unique items. And Dunn, an LSU gymnast and social influencer, offered the card holder a chance to sit with her in a suite during a game if the person took the Pirates deal. That was horribly written. Who says you can't go home again? Josh McDaniels. He's returning to the New England Patriots for a third go-around as offensive coordinator under head coach Mike Vrabel. McDaniels had that role under Bill Belichick from 2006 to 2008, and again from 2012 to 2021. Outside of his Patriots tenure, McDaniels has had not great success as a head coach. He led the Denver Broncos from 2009 to 2010, the Las Vegas Raiders from 2022 to 2023, both of which ended with him fired during his second season. 2 table tennis enthusiasts from Sweden. I'm not even going to try to. I'll try to say their names. Emil Olsen, Fredrik Nielsen, recently set a new Guinness World Record for the longest table tennis rally. The players, known as the Spin Duo, kept the ball in play for an astonishing 13 hours, 37 minutes, and 6 seconds without a break. They even managed to eat while keeping the rally going. I was about to say, did they get any water during that? They finally broke the previous record, which had been set by 2 guys from the UK back in June. Good for them, I guess. But that does it for your Shot Clock Sports Update right here on K-Barrel 101. Peach's Pit Party on K-Barrel 101. You know the phrase hey, the roof blew off the place, or the roof fell off the place. Or that typical, same old phrase, that concert was so good, the roof blew off the place or whatever. The roof literally came down while Bad Omens played at Australia's Festival Hall in Melbourne last night. The group was performing Just Pretend, the closing song during the body of their set, and the penultimate song of the night before the encore. The song had fans singing, everyone was waving their arms, and at one point toward the end of the track, the style shifted, coincided with a confetti cannon release, but while some fans have shreds of paper confetti raining down on them, others were greeted with pieces of ceiling tile that had been dislodged. Yeah, several fans shot videos of it on their phones. I haven't played it yet, but I do want to watch it. It clearly shows a tile falling from around the 4-minute, 40-second mark with an audible "oh" coming from one of the audience members. Oh, there's a TikTok about it too. Well, go check it out. I'll try to post it on our social media pages at KBarrett 101 FM. Well, Victor and I were able to move the counter from the former Hawk studio into this studio. It's on the other side, right below our little flag. It's a heavy cabinet for sure. I'm excited to rearrange the studio. It's been needing that type of thing. There's stuff on the floor. Now Victor was all upset about the about the stuff on the floor. I'm like, hey, that shirt, that Point North shirt that's signed by the band is entirely yours. You just left it there. And I think there's a few things that I can take home that Victor or Jade don't want in this studio. Like this nice CD rack behind me. I've been needing some extra CD storage space because I have some that are just stacked on top of each other. I do collect CDs. Yes, every single time I mention CDs, like on Facebook, there's always that one quote-unquote jokester that goes, who listens to CDs anymore? There's a lot of people, lots of people listen to CDs. It's great, you know. Nostalgia is coming back. Vinyl records are way expensive. It's like buying a video game. They're always like $40. Forget it. Buy the CD. It's higher quality. You can just put it into any radio that has a CD player, which is much more common compared to finding a vinyl record player. CDs are great, man. You know, it's real sad when companies lay off employees. It's a terrible, terrible thing to happen. Well, digital payment software giant Stripe, I've never even heard of this company. They accidentally sent a PDF image of a cartoon duck to 300 employees it was attempting to lay off as an attachment to their termination emails, resulting in some accusing the company of adding insult to injury. I'm sure it was somebody's like, oh, I don't know. Because, like, I'm looking at the photo, and it definitely does seem intentional. You can't do that by accident. Like, I've sent so many emails in the past couple of days. I've never accidentally included an image. Maybe I should. You know, I've been trying to talk to these different record reps and, you know, concert promoters and stuff, trying to get things done for ticket giveaways and such like that. Maybe I should put this duck image attached to the email to see if they're actually reading my emails. Be like, hey, what's this duck for? Yeah, so I was talking about this story with my friend Hunter last night on Discord, considering he's living in Indiana right now, and the story took place in Indiana. Hunter's very knowledgeable when it comes to geography. So this happened in the town of, I forgot the name of it already. It's like Azul. So it's a smaller town in Indiana, but this pizza delivery driver, he's a kid, teenager, trying to make some money. He had to walk a considerable amount of distance to get to this person's house to deliver their pizza. And as you're probably aware, it's deep snow. It's cold outside. He's in nothing but like a sweater, sweatpants, his slip-on shoes. He's just trying to deliver pizza to make some extra cash, to make some dough, no pun intended. He walks all the way to this person's house, a $40 order, right? The person tips him $2. A local police officer saw him walking in deep snow, asked him how it was going. He found out he was only tipped $2. So the Lieutenant Richard Craig gave him $15 out of his own pocket. And then he posted the video on TikTok and YouTube, and then made a GoFundMe campaign to raise at least $500 for this guy for traveling through the snow, just trying to make some extra cash. A couple of days later, after he posted his campaign, the donations have accumulated nearly $30,000, with many donors lauding the officer for his efforts. Now I'm thinking, you know, GoFundMe still gets a percentage amount of that money. That's how they stay afloat, you know. That's how they keep it going. But if you're going to give the rest of the money to the kid, he also has to now worry about taxes, because when you get a giant amount of money like that, of course, you're going to have to pay taxes on it. So, I mean, he still could be happy with it, but I mean, got to make sure to save most of it. Can't go out spending it. You know, if I got $30 at like what, $30,000 at like 16 years old, I would have been so stupid spending all of it. Next thing you know, I'm getting screwed with my taxes. All right, I might make some people mad with this break, but you know, I used to be that guy that had to serve fries to customers. I understand you want hot fries, but if they're quote unquote cold to your standard, don't don't go to the counter and get into an argument with the employee at the fast food restaurant. Just simply say, hey, can I get some hot fries? Because I've seen many customers back in my time when I used to work at In-N-Out that would just stand there angrily at the counter and they would just say, hot fries, now. And it's like, dude, what are you? You're not a keen in any way, shape, or form. But this order of cold fries nearly turned into cold-blooded murder at a Wendy's in Kentucky last week. Again, fast food workers get no respect at all, and it absolutely is atrocious. This 25-year-old Manja James Wooten and his two friends, they got into an argument with a drive-thru employee over his fries being cold. Things got heated, and he decided to enter the restaurant to continue the argument face-to-face. Now, the employee, see, there's so much pressure on fast food employees to be nice to the customer because some person out there years ago decided to come up with that horrible phrase, the customer is always right. And that's what every manager always emphasizes, no matter where you're at. So the Wendy's employee is still considered wrong in this situation for arguing back with the customer, but I think it's right because customers should be put in their place sometimes, especially for something as stupid as this. But the customer eventually pulled out a gun, fired a single shot. The employee, 26-year-old Twanisha Coleman, also just happened to be packing heat, pulled out her own gun. A shootout soon erupted with both firing at each other. Coleman was struck in the butt. Police showed up and arrested Wooten with felony assault. Coleman was also arrested because she was on probation for a felony theft and gun conviction and was not allowed to possess a gun. So, I mean, again, this all could have been avoided if you just accepted the cold fries. There are a lot of subscriptions out there that you can purchase, and YouTube Premium seems like one of the biggest wastes. Sure, you could block ads, but you could also do that with an ad blocker. And YouTube has tried to block ad blockers from working on YouTube, but then, people always have a response to that. So they've been finding out other ways to block ads, and ads on YouTube, man, they've gotten terrible. YouTube Premium, I would still not pay a dime for. They're rolling out some new experimental features for premium users, including high-quality audio, big whoop, a faster playback speed option on mobile, the ability to jump ahead on the web to skip to the most intriguing part of the video. You can't just watch the full video, you got to skip ahead. Is that what you do during movies, too? You're like, I got to skip to the best part of the plot. I got to know what happens. No, you sit there and watch the movie. The most annoying thing, I was watching a full episode of Kitchen Nightmares on YouTube yesterday. Oh my God, there were so many ad breaks. How much is it now for YouTube Premium per month? I think Josh from Classy has a subscription to it. I was thinking about canceling my Netflix because they upped the price of it again to like $17 a month. Wait, hold on. It says it's only $9.99 per month. It can't be right. YouTube Premium price. $13.99 per month for an individual plan, or $140 per year. There are also family and student plans. Still $14 a month. Ad-free viewing, offline downloads, background play. There still has to be more for me to pay $14 a month. All right, it's that time for To Peach Throne. I was thinking about asking the whole grossest habit your coworker has question, but I was afraid there might be some people who would just take it too far and we couldn't air the answers and such. So I found this one on Reddit, and I figured this one would be pretty fun to hear what people have to say. Everyone's going to have a different answer. If someone grabbed you out of your chair right now and said you have to give a 1-hour speech on any topic of your choice, as long as it was informative and they would pay you $10,000, what would your speech be about? Obviously, mine would be about, I don't know, radio as a whole, why people, why it's not dying, as some people like to say, or when people ask, who listens to the radio anymore? I could easily do an hour speech all about that, as most radio people can. But I'm looking at some of the answers here. There's a wide variety, which is really cool. Dog grooming or video games from Tyson. River health from Chelsea. I've never even... Okay, that's interesting. Very, very niche topic there. I wrote 2 essays and 1 speech on the subject, or ancient board games. It's my current obsession. That's really cool. Liliana, who is an author, developing a fantasy that can stretch out multiple books without filler. I almost said without filter. Without filler. Extremely cool. So what is your answer? Call in now, 208-535-1015. It's to Peach their own. Hey, K-Bear, how's it going?
Not too bad.
James, what's up with you, man?
Not much.
Now, what speech would you give for an hour straight that's informative for $10,000?
It'd be all about vacuums, because I know way too much about vacuums.
What's like the underrated vacuum?
An underrated one?
Yeah. Like what's one that I could use for my apartment for hardwood floors, a rug here and there that would just suck in the good way?
Well, and that's where, because I'm actually quite fond of a particular brand called Rake, but they used to have one in their lineup. They since discontinued it. It was called the Roam, and it was a little upright, battery-operated canister style. And it was great for hardwood floors and very, very low-pile carpeting or rugs. And it just had a little small tank. It had a little charging base station. Thing was great. I've actually got one.
I'm looking at a video right now. Tornado cordless Roam vacuum. Is that it?
It would be the Riccar Roam or the Simplicity. I can't remember what Simplicity's version of it was, because it was the same machine, just different branding, because they're the same company, Riccar and Simplicity.
I'm looking at it. Tornado Roam cordless vacuum, or Tornado cordless vacuum. I'm seeing different ones now.
Yeah, because this one's been probably about 8 or so years since they were making them.
Is Dyson too mainstream for a vacuum fan?
Dyson is garbage.
Okay. Wow. Hot take. There we go.
Because they don't make any parts available to repair them, and any parts that you can get for them or that they list as available, you end up getting put on back order for over 6 months.
I can't believe we're talking about vacuums on my show, and people are probably frustrated right now. Play more music, Peaches. What are you doing talking?
No, vacuums are cool. They suck.
Hey, K-Bear, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, Peaches?
Oh, nothing much, man. What would your speech be about if someone were to pay you $10,000 to give a 1-hour speech that was informative at the same time?
I would pick video games. The topic would be a Fallout lore.
You know all about it.
Yeah.
Now, which Fallout's your favorite?
Oh, man, I would say 3. That was my first one I played when I was, in middle school.
I have seen a lot of people hate on Fallout New Vegas, who are giant fans of Fallout 3, saying Fallout New Vegas is like the poser of the two.
Yeah, I remember those days. Yeah, people used to bash on New Vegas. I think there was those hardcore Fallout 3 fans, but I thought New Vegas was pretty good.
Well, I know a lot of the OG fans, too, also didn't like 4 at all, which I loved Fallout 4.
Oh, yeah, I think I would. Yeah, 4 was okay. I wish, yeah.
And then the Fallout 76, the online-only one, was just crap from the beginning, and then I think it's gotten better, but I haven't given it a try.
Yeah, same here. Didn't they add NPCs recently to the update or something like that?
I'm not sure. I've been wanting to go back and play Fallout 4 overall, just going after from, what was it, yesterday's question about, what video game can you recognize without saying the title, and just by one single quote, and many people were putting, you got another settlement, and all that, the whole Preston Garvey quote, which is great, but, it's been making me want to go back and play these old games, considering also we don't have any new games coming out that are worthwhile.
Yeah, game.
Thanks for listening to Peach's Pit Party, the podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please share, subscribe, and rate the podcast. Peach's Pit Party is hosted by me, Peaches, a.k.a. Brendan Peach, and is a production of Riverbend Media Group. For more information or to contact the show, visit riverbendmediagroup.com. Until next time, Peach out.